Alright guys, back with another video and going through my most requested, or one of my most requested videos from you guys, and that's going through which service that I use to ship my cards from America all to Australia. Now I do want to say that I'm going to be comparing Get It Shipped International, or Get It Shipped for short, and ship my cards directly, because those are the two main services that I've heard of going from America into Australia. There are some other ones that people have used, but I don't want to give a direct review of any of them if I haven't used them before. I want to be quite fair and transparent with both of these services. I do want to start off by saying that I am not sponsored by any of them, but I do have a promoter code with Get It Shipped, and that's also going to be one of my criteria in comparing both of them. But yeah, I'll go through that all later into the video. So people from America might be wondering why you would use these services. There is some benefit for you guys out there as well. Number one, you can use their tax-free address to ship your cards to, because you're saving on your taxes. You know, there are some states in America, if you do ship to them, you obviously have to pay a certain tax. And this helps very well for us international people, because if we do try to ship our cards from America into Australia, there's a tax. There's also shipping fees included. Using the eBay global shipping program, which is great because it does, you know, allow for secure shipment, I guess, in a way, but it does cost anywhere from $30 to $70 to send cards here. And I've had people questioning that amount when it comes to shipping, even from Australia into America, but that's how much it costs to ship overseas with tracking. As a seller, you've got to get covered. I think people have asked me before to ship without tracking, but as an eBay seller, we do need tracking, and yeah, I'm not willing to run that risk. Another thing as well, why I said you would shave on your shipping going from America into Australia, or whatever country you're from, you can just do a massive, you know, shipment going from Get It Shipped or Ship My Cards into Australia, saving all your shipping fees versus doing it individually. Like I said, it could be $30 to $50 to $70 to $100. Let's say you do that for one card. Shipping in the US typically costs around $3 US. Sometimes it's free with the standard flat rate mail. So yeah, you do save a little bit of shipping and can combine a lot of cards into one service. So I'll be upfront with my usage of both. I initially, let's say around 3 years ago, started using Ship My Cards. Probably had about 10 shipments sent from Ship My Cards into my address down here in Australia. And then as of March this year, so by the time this video comes out, it's gonna be 2024, but in March 2023, I did move to Get It Shipped International because Ship My Cards did increase their fees, and for me, it wasn't worth sending my cards there just because of their fees. And I am someone who does like to buy a lot of big collections, a lot of big lots, and Ship My Cards fees weren't really helping me in that aspect. So if we do want to break down the fees, I'm gonna have to get my laptop out here. So for Ship My Cards, if you want to ship to their Arizona address, which isn't tax-free, does have a little bit of tax if you're sending from eBay, it's $3 per card, $6 per lot, $6 for a box of cards, anywhere from $5 to $20 per large item, $20 for extremely large items. As you can see there, if I'm sending my collection, a huge collection there, for example, it could be anywhere from $5 to $20 based on how much effort it does take them to kind of sort through it. And I understand that it does take them a little bit of effort to go through it. The Oregon address, which is the tax-free address, which does get forwarded onto the Arizona warehouse and their address. So there is a little bit of a forwarding sort of fee included, but it is $7 per card, $10 per lot up to 10 cards, $15 on a large lot up to 100 top loaders or 20 graded cards, and then yeah, $12 for a standard box of modern cards. So yeah, it does say on their website that they do forward their cards, the cards that are received in Oregon into Arizona every day. So by the time you send the card to Oregon, once it does arrive, it will be at your Arizona address in a few days. And they do have these dates on their website in terms of how quick they're processing everything, and when you should be expecting your cards to be photographed into their inventory. Meanwhile, if we do go to Get It Shipped, their fee is $110 US. So firstly, for Ship My Cards, there's no fee initially for setting up. You can make an account and that's it. The fees all accumulate when you do get your cards shipped to their warehouse, and then obviously the final shipment in from SMC down to your own address. But with Get It Shipped International, you do pay one fee. It is $110 US for the entire year. But if you do use a code, I do have my own promoter code. It's mattscardshop. You do get 50% off. So it does go down to $55 US. If you do want to use the tax-free address for Get It Shipped, you do need to pay another $55. So all up, it is $110 US for the year. And if you can send whatever you want, as many cards as you want, there is no extra fees. And you can see how that works really well if you do buy a lot of cards like I do. Maybe if you bought one or two, very rarely, maybe more your high-end cards, you would probably prefer to send it to Ship My Cards. But in my case, where I am buying a lot of collections, a lot of lots, I do prefer Get It Shipped International. So if you do want to sign up and make an account, use my code. That's one way you can support the channel. It does give me $5 off my shipments as well. All right, let's go through some more things that we can compare about both services. So I'll go through the actual website interface. I do think Ship My Cards website is a bit better than Get It Shipped. It's not perfect. It can be a little bit buggy. I always found I had a fair few issues, and I know the Facebook group itself had some issues when it came to logging in. You'd have to try different browsers, clearing your cache or whatever all that sort of stuff is, and it did get a little bit annoying. Get It Shipped's one is a bit more basic than Ship My Cards. I do remember when I signed up, I did speak to the person who was running the actual service, and they said they were coming out with a new website in about a month's time. So that was April. Yeah, like I said, it's January 2024 around the time of recording. So it's been 8 to 9 months and the website hasn't changed. So I'm not really too sure what that means. I didn't know what they meant by that new interface. In terms of taking photos of your cards, so obviously when you send your cards to a warehouse, you want to know that they've been received and you want to make sure you've received the right card. I've actually had this issue with a recent eBay order. They didn't send me the right cards, and obviously you need photos for proof. So with Get It Shipped, I find their photos aren't amazing. I do find Ship My Cards is better. If you have a lot of cards that you've purchased, Ship My Cards will kind of spread them all out and then show what cards you've purchased. Get It Shipped tend to show only 1 or 2 cards, and then they almost like show the top of the cards. So yeah, it can be hard sometimes if you buy, like, let's say 20 cards and you don't know if every single card's in it. I have had that issue around a month, about 2 weeks ago. I asked for them to take a photo of the entire lot of cards, and they were they weren't completely saying no to that, but they were saying that they didn't want to do it just because if they had to do it for every collector, it would waste a lot of time, which I understand. But my main issue was that I didn't know if I was receiving the cards that I'd actually purchased. And thankfully they did take photos of the cards, and I did actually get the wrong card. So the eBay seller, once I sent the photo, they did refund me. So I do think Ship My Cards is better in that aspect compared to Get It Shipped. In terms of notifications about when you get your cards, Ship My Cards, again, wins this category because you do get an email saying that you have a new card in your inventory. Contrast this to Get It Shipped, who use Google Drive for all your cards. And as your inventory, yeah, Get It Shipped, basically you just gotta be refreshing your Google Drive every day, every few days, and then you'll get new photos into that Google Drive, and then those are basically showing off the cards that are in your inventory. But yeah, bit different to Ship My Cards, where you do get that notification via email, and then you can log in, see the cards that are in your inventory. So shipping costs and time, I haven't found it has differed too much between each services, especially in terms of costs. I think you've got to just use FedEx when going from USA to Australia. Heard some people using USPS and all that sort of stuff and getting delayed and even having lost packages, but FedEx seems to be the way to go. I do find that Ship My Cards is much quicker than Get It Shipped, and it's not really any fault of Get It Shipped. It's probably just more the logistics of it. But going from Get It Shipped's main warehouse is in Vermont, which is on in the eastern coast of the US, and then you've got Ship My Cards' main warehouse, which is in Arizona, so it's on the west side. So I've had about 10 shipments from Ship My Cards, and I reckon at least half of them have arrived within 2 business days. And that's coming from the West Coast. From Get It Shipped, I think you're looking at around anywhere from 3 to 6 business days. Again, going from the East Coast, you've got to go all the way across America, which is a massive, massive country. And then you've got to go from the West Coast of America into Australia. So a bit more traveling. It's not, it's not Get It Shipped's fault or anything like that. I was thinking like, why is it taking so long compared to Ship My Cards? But then I looked up where Vermont is, and yeah, it's on the East Coast, so it's not really their fault. I did run through my promoter code before. This is another thing I had a little bit of an issue with Ship My Cards. I did ask them, and I know other people have asked them before for like a promoter code, and they weren't willing to do any sort of referral program. And I think That kind of annoyed me just because there are a lot of people international that are looking for services to use to ship their cards into their own country. And yeah, unfortunately, that sort of annoyed me a little bit because again, we all are looking for these sorts of services. Probably the most common question that I see is asked on the Facebook groups. Get It Shipped actually do have some sort of affiliate program. So you can email them and then just ask them for a code. So for, like I said, mine's mattscardshop. So when you do sign up, buy a 12-month subscription, you can use my code and it goes down from $110 down to $55 US. And you know, I only get $5 per time that someone does use the code itself. So it's not much, but it's still something. And I think that's very important. And again, I wouldn't be pushing something that I haven't used before. So I'm not just gonna go to a service and say, oh yeah, they're giving me a referral code. So let's just use that without even testing it out. I've had multiple shipments from both services. And I'll tell you at the end how I actually prefer to use both services. But I think, yeah, this is where a big tick for Get It Shipped is for me, that, you know, content creators out there like me can promote our code out there and get a little bit of something back. All right, so let's go into customer service. So I know a lot of people might have questions when it comes to their cards. You always want to make sure the customer service is good. I find Get It Shipped really good. I find during business hours, they can reply within an hour or two. So really, really good, very quick on the emails. Ship My Cards, I find, are not as good as Get It Shipped. Anything that you've got a query about, you've got to go through their dispositions tab. They do have a lot of options there, and they're all based on priority level. So basically, it's whatever priority level you put on it, whether it's urgent, you know, just medium, low, high, all that sort of stuff. But I do find the Ship My Cards Facebook group really good. So it does have a lot of users on it, and if you've got any questions, honestly, you can post into the Facebook group and you'll have someone in there that's more than likely experienced it or can answer that question for you. And I also find that the person who owns Ship My Cards, Brian Wells, is very good in terms of replying back to messages. I messaged him numerous times and he's very good at replying back. I honestly don't know how he does it in terms of using his own personal Facebook to answer, you know, work-related questions and all that sort of stuff. I think it's better to have it separate, but he does it quite well. I never hear him complain. But yeah, I do think Get It Shipped better via email. Ship My Cards does have a really good Facebook group in terms of answering questions if you do have any. I also did speak about this in my recent, one of my recent mail days, but you can actually ship whatever you want to Get It Shipped. And again, there's no extra fees. So I obviously collect a lot of my colognes and my perfumes, was able to send a couple of colognes that I found in America that are cheaper than here in Australia. No fees involved, which was great. But Ship My Cards actually don't accept any liquids, so you can't actually ship perfumes to them. But again, you've got to also ask Ship My Cards if you want to ship anything towards them. So I did ship a mate's t-shirt to them once, did ask them, and it was all good. I know larger items, again, you've got to query them because they've only got so much space. Get It Shipped, no issue at all. Yeah, you can ship whatever you want to them. And yeah, they have no extra fees, which is great. And that's another reason why I do like Get It Shipped. The last thing I'll kind of compare them both in is shipping time once you do want to request a big shipment over into your own address. So Get It Shipped are really good. Once you do send a query into them to weigh everything and then you do pay it off, they basically ship it out almost the next business day, which is great. Ship My Cards can take a little bit longer. I know a few other breakers who do buy their stock in America and then did use Ship My Cards but found them taking way too long to process the shipping, and it would take days. I know at one time they had a massive backlog. It would have been during COVID, but sometimes they would honestly take like 2 to 3 weeks. But I think they're actually getting better now. You can always look at their workflow and it does tell you how long they are taking to ship everything and how long it takes everything to photograph once it does arrive into their own address. But yeah, I do find Get It Shipped is way quicker when it comes to shipping out your orders. So maybe it does make up for the longer postage time from the East Coast in terms of sending it over to your own country. So yeah, I do like Get It Shipped for that. Ship My Cards, haven't used them in the last sort of 6 months, so I don't know how their processing times have gotten, but I think Get It Shipped from what I've used is definitely the winner in this. In terms of how I do use both services, I will be honest here, I do primarily use Get It Shipped way more than Ship My Cards. I think it's probably about 95% versus 5%. Look, for me, if you're out there and you're wanting to kind of work out what you would prefer, I think I would probably use Get It Shipped more so for your collections. If you're buying a lot of stock in America, a lot of collections, a lot of big lots, definitely Get It Shipped. There's no extra fees. And those fees on Ship My Cards, unfortunately, do add up. And when you are trying to sell them back here in Australia, you're trying to flip them or anything like that, those fees do add up, and yeah, it can add and make a massive difference in the end. I think as well with Ship My Cards, you know, recent increase in their prices. Let's say you're getting like a $1 card, you know, for your PC. Shipping it to Arizona, you know, it might be free shipping, but then it costs $3 for the fee for a shipment. So then a $1 card essentially becomes a $4 card. And I think that's just where it you lose a little bit of the people that want to buy stuff for their own PC at Ship My Cards. Contrast that to Get It Shipped. You have a $1 card, you ship it to there, there's no extra fee at all. So $1 card stays a $1 card instead of a $1 card becoming a $4 card with Ship My Cards. So if you're wondering in terms of what you should use over what, I would use Ship My Cards more so if you're into your high-end collecting, you're shipping maybe, I don't know, 10 cards at most to your address. Those fees won't add up to $55 US. So that's when I probably would use Ship My Cards. If you're someone like me who does buy a lot of dollar box cards, a lot of bulk, a lot of collections, big lots, 100% go to Get It Shipped, because $55 US per year is a massive difference compared to, you know, all the fees that you do get. Like let's say $55 US, with, you know, the fees to Oregon for the state-free, the tax-free address. You know, let's say they charge you $20 for the large lot. You just need 3 of those collections, and then you've already lost money on what you were paying, what you would have paid for Get It Shipped. So yeah, that's my opinion in terms of when I would use one over the other. I've covered a lot today. I don't know if I've actually hit everything. There's a lot I've probably missed as well, but if you have any questions, do leave them down below, or even message me on Instagram at mattscardshop, and I will try my very best to answer them. I'll try to give my best sort of comparison of both of them. They are both really great services. We're very fortunate down here international to have them to help fill our own collections. So definitely go check both of them out and make your own decisions for yourself. Again, I don't have a promo code for Ship My Cards, so all I can say is if you want to sign up for the Get It Shipped International account, save 50% off, $55 US for a 12-month subscription, not description, by using the code mattscardshop, and it will help me help bring my cards back home to Australia at a cheaper price as well. I appreciate all the support, guys. If this video did help you out, leave a like and also hit the subscribe button down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys all in future videos. Take care.